100%. Like, excuse me, I'm sorry. What's it called? Yeah, no, I would agree with that 100%. Everything that you watch can have an effect on you of any size. It could be small, it could be big. It could have been just as simple as just like, wow, even if it made you think. I think that at the end of the day, it did what it was supposed to do. And I think that as somebody who does have TikTok, I'll admit it, the way that the algorithm works on there is really very interesting, especially when you're aware of it. Like, I watch a lot of the stuff that comes up, it could just be like part of a trend that's going on. It could be, there's a fair amount of cat videos on there. I have no problem saying it. I enjoy a nice cat video every now and then. Listen, it's pretty fucking funny. Just, probably more so because I have cats, you know, and they're just like, damn, I didn't think I'd be doing this. Listen, man, I love my animals and I appreciate them. And I feel like, wow.
Cats are dope.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I didn't always like cats either, so it was kind of like a revelation for me because I was never really allowed to have pets growing up because my dad was allergic to cats and dogs, and we had a rabbit, but it wasn't the same, you know. It was not at all. And then now being able to have a kitten, being able to have a cat, it's almost like having a kid, honestly. I don't think it's like anywhere near as annoying because a kid can't claw you or scratch you in the middle of the night, or like a kid can shit in your bed. A cat can do that too. Cat has done that. Yeah, no, that's stuff like that definitely sucks about it. And then having to bring them to like the vet and such. So it really is a whole responsibility. But fuck, that was so off topic. I'm so sorry.
Nah, you're good, bro. I like cats because cats are like not like dogs.
Yeah.
Like dogs, I feel like need constant attention, and I'm someone who's like, I'm cool with a cat, even though I don't have one. I've had when I was younger, but I like cats because it's like a cat won't bother you unless it like wants like something from you or like it wants the attention. So it's like you have that time where it's like the cat is just kind of coexisting, doing its own thing, as to opposed to like a dog like needs constant attention. I feel like most of the time.
Oh, 100%. And I feel like living in an apartment, I feel like, and having a dog, I think of any kind, honestly, is almost a disservice to the dog because of the attention that they need. Having to walk them, needing a place to pee or shit, or just like having to play with them all the time. Like, I just don't think that I really have enough time in my life to do the things that I want to do, you know? And then having to take care of a dog as well. That's just too much. I don't think I could personally get a dog until I own a home. But that's my personal opinion. But yeah, I think cats are very good like people detectors too. Like really good. They're very good at like detecting a person's energy because they don't trust just anyone. You know, you gotta build that bond with them. And if a cat doesn't fuck with you, it's usually pretty indicative of some other things.
No, I feel that.
Yeah. I wanted to circle back to something earlier. I didn't get to mention it because we just kept going off on the topics, and I loved that. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed just having sporadic conversation, even when I didn't even mean to talk about it. When we were talking about Little Dicky and Dave, his show, I wanted to ask, like, from creative to creative, do you like get inspiration from like movies or TV shows?
I'm the type of person. I have like a very, very, very short attention span. So like I can't really watch too many shows or movies like unless they like really entice me.
Okay.
Like I'm the type to like before I even see the movie, if I see it's 2.5 hours, I'm just like, oh God.
Damn.
But on the same note, a movie like Interstellar, which was like 3 fucking hours long, like had such like a huge impact,
Oh
like on
wow.
just like as a person. So it's really like case to case, I would say. I definitely do think I draw a lot of inspiration from anime, just from like that like the concept of like having to grow and like try to like be better every day. Like those parallels that like are drawn on a lot of animes. I feel like I represent a lot of my music.
Nice.
Movies definitely inspire me.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say like so much like musically, but kind of more so just like how I think about things, my perspective, how I carry myself, I would say more so. And
Mm-hmm.
then from there, I would say it like translates into the music.
Okay. Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, because like I always enjoy having, especially this kind of conversation with other creatives, because I feel like learning about how other people draw inspiration can also just like help like somebody as an artist just try new things as a means of inspiration. But I think it's also really just cool to see how other people think, you know? Just like to pick
Right.
their brains and see like how they get to point A, well how they get from point A to point B, as opposed to how I get from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think anime is something that I've definitely drawn a lot of inspiration from as well. Not necessarily like it may not always be the themes. Like I love My Hero Academia for the reason that it is so fucking uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched that show. The music is great, and I feel like anytime, especially like when All Might was on screen, like as All Might, not like his frail self, and he was
Yeah.
like kicking ass, and Deku was just like fawning over him. That kind of stuff right there just made me feel like I was a fucking badass. Like I could do anything I wanted to in the world. Especially when Deku is like having a really bad moment, and then he's just realizing that he has the power inside of him to do whatever he can. Like
Right.
stuff like that, I love it. But
Yeah.
when I listen to, oh wait, no, I didn't finish my point. The stuff I take from anime is more so like the storytelling techniques and stuff like subverting your expectations entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I keep using Attack on Titan because it's probably like the one anime manga that I've actually like fully read and then watched the most too. Because I don't really watch very many anime or like TV shows in general because I don't always have the time to. But the ones that I do watch, oh, I'm gonna watch the shit out of it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna read it and just enjoy like every part of it that I can.
Right.
And I think that a lot of manga is really good at subverting expectations. It'll like show you one thing and then completely throw it out the window and be like, okay, you thought that this was the case, but actually it's not. Like with Attack on Titan, everybody thinking that it's just like, you know, just your other anime. Or let me rephrase that. More so how the situation is presented one way, like, oh, the Titans are, damn, I don't know, I'm having a really hard time formulating my opinion, and this sucks.
What you're trying to say, like, come to the show thinking like, all right, these are just evil like beings here to just like do whatever. They're like, there's no. But then like when like the main character like becomes a type,
Dies.
like it
Or yeah.
changes the whole like way, and then you find out like the kind of okay, are the Titans created by like the humans, and it's just like a whole thing to it. Like it's just like it gets you really thinking about
Yeah.
like why like the way they are.
I like it because in a lot of Western media, you know, like foreshadowing is a thing, but I feel like the way that it's done in like Japanese media,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like their iceberg, where you'll see part of it and then you won't see the other half. I think the way that they do it is really, really cool. It's just so different because I feel like the shock of that reveal, I feel like it has much greater weight, especially depending on how something like that could affect the rest of the story as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely like it's built more like throughout a whole series. Like I'll give you an example. I haven't seen this anime personally, but everyone tells me I should watch it. One Piece. Everyone's
Uh,
like, there's like however many seasons. I know there's almost probably like 1,000 episodes, but they're saying stuff from like the recent episodes draws back all the way from like the first season,
that's
like to this
crazy.
day. And it's just like very mindful writing is like what I respect like from anime. Is like every single detail is important, like no matter what. Like even if like it's off and like the writers make mistakes, people
Yeah.
notice that for a reason because anime is held to such a high standard like that. And it's like everything's got to make sense and draw into each other. I feel like with like American and like Western media, it's not so much like important or like dramatized. Like it's just kind of like I'm here to watch this and have a good time for like
Yeah.
however. So I feel like anime is real good at like all right, well, he did this when he was like learning how to fight. And now that he's in this experience where he has to fight like the top person, it's like it pays off like for that reason.
Yes, 100%. I love that. It's so consistent. And the things that that a character will learn, what they go through will actually affect them in the long run. Whereas I feel like in a lot of Western media, I feel like it's more so like in the visual presentations as opposed to like if you're reading a book or a novel. Because a lot of the time when it's a visual presentation, there's things you got to keep in mind, like runtime or like how something looks on screen. When I'm just writing words on a page, I can do anything I fucking want to. But I feel like a lot of the times when things get introduced and either amount to nothing or aren't used the way that you think that they would be in Western media, it's kind of like disappointing.
Word.
Because I feel like there's times where writers will, whether they realize they're doing it or not, they'll just neglect all the work that they've done on a show or on a piece of media, and it'll kind of just like feel pointless or like be tarnished in a way as a result of that.
I could say maybe because most anime is manga 1st. Maybe that's kind of like why it's that way. So like when they're writing these like shows in the very beginning, they're written out as like comic books. So like I guess writers are a lot more thoughtful about that because it's like you got to get from the beginning to the end throughout the book. And it's like they can go back and like read the old pages and be like, oh, I get it now. So it's like when you do put it like in like the cartoon form, I guess it's like the blueprint is already drawn out. So it's like you have less room for failure, I think, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, especially because like there's the source material and stuff like that. I think that manga in general does a really good job of. Oh man, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to press pause real quick because I'm getting.
Bro, you can pick it up if you want.
Oh yeah, I'm getting an important phone call. I'm sorry. Give me one moment. All right. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I get you.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Fuck. Where were we? I hate when stuff like that happens. So sorry.
Anime. We were talking about like the intentfulness of like writing.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Jogging memory. That was awesome. What I love about anime and manga in general is that it does a really good job of balancing a story with such a big cast. I feel like the big casts are so integral, and every character always has a purpose. And I feel like more often than not, their stories come full circle, and they always serve as just like another tool in the tool belt for the story.
Yeah, it's not so much like main character and everybody else is around to just serve like that one character's like character development. It's kind of like everybody's like developing together, and it's like that's kind of how life really works. So like I respect 100%. That.
Yeah, I think anime's always been really good at, or manga. I mean, the both of them, because I mean one comes after the other. But I think that they've always been really, really good at doing that. Because I can't think of any manga that's been centered on just like solely one person. Like you know how movies or TV shows can typically be centered on like one person, and everyone else is more so just like a passerby, if not like something of a recurring character. I can't think of very many pieces of manga, or any actually, that are built like that. I think it's like the storytelling in that medium is just richer because there's a larger cast,
Word, I agree.
Okay, sorry. I definitely had a flow, and me getting the phone call kind of just like messed it up. So let's get back into the music conversation, because I had some points I thought I touched on, but I'm just not seeing that I actually didn't. I wanted to ask you, what's your vision for yourself as an artist? Just like what will be, because I know this is a tricky question even for me when I think about it sometimes, about like for myself, but like what to you will or defines your success as an artist, or is something that you want to accomplish that'll finally like show yourself, yeah, I did it, like what's that proving thing to you?
Honestly, recently I've been kind of in the mindset that I'm like already doing it, like honestly, because what I want to get out of music is like I just want to be able to like in my truest like self express who I am and have people appreciate me for that. the numbers really draws more into like